Afternoon.
How are we doing?
Fantastic. Good Thursday. Shoot.
Josh, what would you say the biggest difference was for your group just week 1 to week 2?
Just, I thought they played more the way we wanted to play, I think. Tried to control the situations. We were able to stay out of some, most of the time, long yardage situations other than, the penalties. But they deserve a lot of credit for taking some things that we tried to improve from week 1 to week 2 and made some progress last week during practice. And I thought, we saw improvement in a lot of areas that, the first week we were probably very inconsistent, and so we're just trying to improve our consistency each week. And I thought there was some evidence of that last week.
Josh, Stephon Diggs, what are some of the things that you've learned about him from just working with him on a day-to-day basis? What have you brought?
He's very bright. He's got a lot of game experience and savvy. It doesn't take long for you to have a conversation with him about something that you want to do, or you have an idea or vision of how it wants to play out, how you want it to play out. And Steph can go out there and he's following you when you're speaking to him or we're watching film. Very competitive, and in the right way. His leadership is intense, but it's the right type of intensity because he wants to win. Unselfish. He's been a very good teammate. Love working with him. Brings a excitement to it every day. So it's been a great experience for me so far, and not surprising.
Josh, I know some of the outside zone stuff didn't hit the way you wanted early in the game, but the boots off of that, going under center, seemed to really work. When you talk about playing the way you wanted to in Miami, obviously I understand it's execution. Schematically, do you feel like you got close to your identity last week?
I mean, I don't know if we got closer. We probably played cleaner, I think, to your point. I don't think we're going to be able to do, the same thing every week. That's hard to do. The players on the other team and the scheme sometimes dictate what you can and can't do. But I thought they executed what we thought was best to execute against Miami last week at a better rate than what we did the first week. I thought those things, like you said, helped us. There's a shelf life for everything. But as long as you stay in the positive down and distance situations, then you can do that. When we fall behind the sticks and it's 1st and 20 or 2nd and long or 3rd and long, those things become more difficult to, I'd say, continue to call. So, they helped us last week. Whether we can do them again this week or next week or whatever, that'll probably be a week-to-week conversation. But I'm not worried about that. I think we have plenty of things that hopefully we'll be able to do well when the time is right to do them.
When it comes to some of those concepts, and not that you haven't run bootlegs with zone runs before, but with some of those things, how helpful is it to have somebody like Thomas, who's had a lot of background in that kind of stuff? Has he helped in terms of teaching those types of things to the player?
Yeah, like I've said since we got together, I've learned a lot from this entire group. Vrabes has experience at it. Doug, Haas, Cougs, Todd, Thomas, Tony. This is a great group of guys with a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience at a lot of different things. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't paying attention and listening to them as we've gone through the off season, OTAs, training camp. Our evolution is not done. What are we going to eventually become? The best version of ourselves, hopefully. But yeah, I think they have a lot of experience that I don't have, and I think we've all been very open-minded to trying things that hopefully fit our team and our players. And I think, as we go through the season, you'll probably see more and more little things here and there. But we're zeroing in on what we do best. And yes, it has been very helpful to be around those guys. Absolutely.
Was the run-pass balance ideally kind of more what you're looking for, or was that just kind of...
Yes.
And is that something you're gonna, try and.
I've always tried to do that unless we tried not to. You know what I mean? Like there's been games in my lifetime where we've gone through it and said, hey, we're going to throw it 50 times purposefully because we felt like that was the right way to try to approach the game. Now that's not very common. And it doesn't work for very many people. I'm talking about play callers or teams. So yeah, most of the time I think I would be in the norm. Most of us play callers and coordinators want to try to maintain balance. I think that helps every aspect of your team and your game. And I think we wanted to try to do that week one. We didn't accomplish it. I told you last week I needed to do a better job, and I think our guys executed well.
What sounds like a pretty strong summer. We've seen kind of a dip in Pop's production over the first 2 games. What are those conversations like with him behind the scenes?
No conversation. I mean, Pop's awesome. So, look, the game dictates a lot of things. Depending on how much we're in third down, how much we're in 2-minute situations, how much we've decided to play the game in one personnel grouping or another for multiple different reasons would dictate a lot of things for a lot of players. Every time, we're in 3 receivers, there's only 1 tight end on the field. Every time we're in 2 backs at the same time, there's less, so, anytime you put somebody else in, somebody else has got to come out. So I think I've really appreciated the unselfish nature of our entire group. Pop is at the top of that list. He knows what his job is. He knows his role. He's ready to go every week. I expect him to continue to prepare hard and make plays when his number is called. He just didn't have a lot of opportunities last week, and sometimes that happens.
Josh, seemed like the line held up well in pass protection last week. How happy are you with the growth you've seen from Will and Jared in that regard?
Yeah, I think they learn every day. I mean, honestly, we just got done learning on the field in a walkthrough. And, I think we just continue the same process. I think we're focused on the process more than the results. And those guys are really working hard to improve and get better every day and every week. So, we either do something well and we're happy about it, or we don't, do it exactly the way we wanted. And then those guys gain experience and learn from it. So as long as you have the right mindset, I think you have a great opportunity to get better. And I'd say all of the young players, when they make a mistake, they have a great approach. And they should be commended for the way they're working, because they really care about doing things the right way and helping their teammates win. So you put those 2 guys at the top of the list.
Josh,
Every personality is different, right? So what's the process like for you in building a game relationship with a guy like Drake Bay? Like things you can say to him, things that, when he comes off the field, what's that process like for you?
Enjoyable. He's as easy to talk to as anybody we have. He sees the game very, very well. The conversations you have are accurate. If you ask him a question, you're going to get the right answer. It's not maybe the best answer that we could have done, but he knows exactly what took place on the field, and he's always honest, very informative, wants to do it the right way, takes coaching extremely well. I don't know what else fantastic to answer your question. Love his approach from day to day. He's, like I said, his process is never ending and always evolving in terms of his improvement. So he got better from week 1 to week 2. I hope he gets better from week 2 to week 3 and continues to do that every single day. And with the way he goes about it, I think we have a realistic shot at doing that. So, and the list is long. He knows that and he loves that. So really enjoy working with him. The couple games that I've had a chance to call now with him, I think, hopefully we'll just continue to get better and better.
Josh Drake told us yesterday that he needs to get the ball to Stephon more.
Joe Drake?
Yes,
Sorry.
yeah, when we chatted with him yesterday.
Yep.
And while still staying honest about, hey, I got to get it to the right guy. When you got a young quarterback and obviously a receiver who's been around a while and wants the ball and is vocal about that, are you mindful of reinforcing, hey, whoever's open gets the ball?
Yeah, absolutely. And I haven't heard Steph say one thing about I need the ball ever. That is not something that I've ever heard. And I honestly, that would surprise me if he did. I mean, look, every skill player wants the ball. Every skill player wants to help the team win the best they can. But I mean, Steph, whether he's out there blocking, running routes, catching the ball, whatever it is, he does his job the best he can. And, I don't think there's been any pressure applied to our quarterback to do anything other than the right thing. So, look, they're all out there. There's 5 guys and 1 ball. So, he's never going to make them all happy. And I think the best thing for the QB is to just try to do the right thing. And the ball will find those guys.
What are those
Last
schematics?
question.
Drake mentioned yesterday admiring Aaron Rodgers and his cadence and saying, I'm not there, I hope to get there one day. How does one go about becoming good at cadence?
You got to practice it. And we do, and he does. And I think there's no shortcut to that. I think you have to try it. I think we have different variations, like every team does. I think he's starting to understand his ownership in that part of the game, But again, like a lot of things, there's a process to this, and there's a long list, and we have to put something at the top. And so, trying to play penalty free is going to be at the top of our list offensively, and however that impacts Drake and his use of the cadence, certainly we'll try to do that the right way. But I think his attitude about that mirrors his attitude about a lot of things. His footwork, his play faking, his command of the huddle, his reading of coverage, his accuracy, his throwing mechanics. He wants to get better at all of those things, which you try each day as best you can. But there's going to be a process, and it's going to be a lot of time on task. But Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest of all time to do a lot of things, and the cadence would be a very small part of that. But I'm not sure I've ever met a quarterback that didn't envy the way he uses the cadence and try to use it to manipulate the defense and affect the game.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep. Thank you.